What's going on, everybody? It's the Psn Gamer. Welcome back to another Madden video. Hope you're fantastic day. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys the best abilities to put on your offensive and defensive players. This is part 2 to my best chemistries to put on your players. But please share to like, subscribe, comment, and put notifications on if you need, because I do try to upload 3 Madden videos every single day. So any support would be much appreciated. I upload Madden content, Madden tips, and Madden coin making methods. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into it. So for Superstar X Factors on your quarterbacks, I like to either go with Gambler or Bazooka. The reason why I go with Bazooka is because Lamar Jackson doesn't have that much throw power, so it's a lot easier to throw it down the field faster. And Gambler is, can't be intercepted by AI defenders, which is really good, especially if you're playing challenges or even if you're playing online. You just have to make sure you don't throw it towards the user's way, but can't be intercepted by AI defenders, and Bazooka are the best one in my opinion. And Fearless is probably number 3 and Brick Wall is number 4. And Run and Gun, I don't know why you would go with Run and Gun, because it's pretty much like Gambler but a little bit worse. And Pro Reads and Blitz Raid are probably the worst ones. So yeah, I would either go with Bazooka, Gambler, or Fearless. But for abilities, you guys know that you guys can now put 4 abilities on your players if they are 99 overall base powered up or just 99 overall base. So Patrick Mahomes is only base 99 overall, but like 98 overalls that are powered up are base 99 powered up players. So Lamar Jackson has a 98 overall card. I powered him up and he's a base 99 powered up. So he has 4 abilities. So I like to go with Fast Break just because it's improved ball carriers. I can do read options and stuff, and he should not fumble that often. And Escape Artist, you need Escape Artist on all your mobile quarterbacks. And yeah, if you guys don't have a mobile quarterback, then you guys should probably put Gunslinger, QB Playmaker. Those are the best abilities in my opinion. But Lamar Jackson doesn't have those kind of abilities. He has like a bunch of scrambler abilities. I wish he had QB Playmaker. But if you have like a Patrick Mahomes, I'm pretty sure Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers have like QB Playmaker, Gunslinger. You definitely want to put those on your quarterbacks. Because what Gunslinger does is it makes it so that the ball gets faster to your receiver. So if you're trying to throw it into a tight position, Gunslinger is really helpful. And Playmaker makes it so that your players react immediately when you Playmaker or something. Because when you Playmaker a wide receiver, sometimes they, stutter a little bit and then go up. But if you put QB Playmaker on, they'll just go straight up. That QB Playmaker and Gunslinger are the best for non-mobile QBs, but for mobile QBs, I like put Fast Break, Escape Artist, Dashing Deadeye, and No Luck Deadeye. You guys can put evasive on him, but I just don't put evasive on him because I don't like to juke and spin, because whenever you juke and spin with a quarterback, you will most likely fumble. But those are the best abilities for the quarterback in my opinion. If you have any questions, please do comment down in the comment section below. And now I'll get to the halfbacks. Alright, so number 1, don't put abilities on your running back if you guys don't want to, or if you guys don't run that much. So I put Outside Zone Guru and Inside Zone Guru and Spin Cycle, because I realized that I have ball carrier on conservative 90% of the time, which means that he has a better chance of not fumbling, but he can't spin or juke, or he can't do any ball carrier moves. So evasive is useless to me. So I replaced evasive with Inside Zone Guru and Outside Zone Guru, and I still have Spin Cycle for the times I don't have ball carrier on conservative. But like I said, if you guys don't run that much, don't put ball carrier on or don't put abilities on your running back. I don't know what I'm saying. Don't put abilities on your running back if you don't run that much. These are just for people who like to run the ball a lot. Inside Zone Guru, Outside Zone Guru, and Spin Cycle. So yeah. And for X Factors, I like to go with Fright Train or Protective Custody, because increased chance to break the next tackle attempt and can't fumble as a result of a tackle. So those are the best abilities I like to put on my running back. There are a lot of other running back abilities you guys can put on them, but some people don't even run with running back abilities, because personally, I don't know, running back abilities are kind of overrated in my opinion. You guys could probably still do as good without abilities on your running backs. But anyways, on to the wide receivers. Alright, so for wide receivers, there are a lot of good abilities to put on your wide receivers. Now, I don't see the difference between route prints, wide receiver prints, but pretty much 4 extra hot routes. I'm pretty sure the 4 additional hot routes are post routes, corner routes, what are the other routes? Post, corner, stop and go, and yeah, I can't think of the other one, but yeah, those routes are really helpful, especially the post and corner routes. So I really highly recommend you guys put route prints on your wide receiver. This is for people who like to pass a lot. Post flag elite is definitely really helpful for people who run the Saints playbook and run a lot of corner routes, because you guys can match up route prints with post flag elite and then better route running and catching on post and corner routes, and then you guys can use the route prints to be able to put those wide receivers on a corner / post route. Playmaker is really good, but do not put playmaker on a wide receiver if your quarterback already has a playmaker kind of, ability, because as you guys can see, it does not stack with itself. But yeah, playmaker, like I said, it makes it so that when you playmaker somebody, they don't stutter. And like, let's say you have your wide receiver lined up on the right side and they're running a drag to the left, right? At the middle of their running, and while they're running their drag from right to left, you guys can playmaker him to the right, and he will immediately turn around and go to the right. So that's how OP playmaker is. But if you guys don't have the playmaker ability on and you try to playmaker him to the right, he'll just go up. So playmaker is really helpful, and it's also really annoying to play against. So right now I would suggest you go with route imprints, post flag elite, and playmaker. And you guys can go with matchup nightmare, but I feel like wide receivers match up against cornerbacks more than they do against linebackers. But it is helpful for people who run zone coverage, and if you guys like to run a lot of slant and inside routes, because linebackers are always like, in the slant part of the field and in the inside zone part of the field. Route technician, definitely not a bad ability to have. Quicker cuts while running routes, definitely a really solid ability to have. So yeah, I really like that. I really like those. There's a lot of good wide receiver abilities that I like. Grab and go, it's pretty much like human joystick. It's like, after you rack a ball, it's pretty much like human joystick. Quicker turning and change of direction after a catch. So once again, definitely, I like, these are your personal preferences. I would probably either go with route technician or grab and go, because they're both really good. So slot-o-matic, quicker cuts, and improved catching from the slot. Once again, if you guys like to run your wide receivers from the slot, definitely not a bad ability to have. And streak specialist, and any of these specialists are what you guys like to do. So do you guys like to run out routes and in routes? Do you guys like to run streak routes, curl routes, post routes, cross routes? Don't do post routes, or don't do post specialist or corner specialist if you have post flag elite, because it's pretty much, post flag elite is pretty much post specialist and corner specialist combined. So don't put post or corner specialist on if you already have post flag elite. So yeah, all these are your personal preferences, pretty much like what you guys like to run as a route. And double move elite, I don't really like that because I don't really run that many double moves, but again, that's just me. And specialist. So yeah, those are the best abilities I like to put on my wide receiver. So I would either choose between the slot-o-matic if you guys like to do a lot of slot routes, any of these abilities if you like to run a certain route a lot, route technician, grab and go, playmaker definitely, post flag elite definitely, route technician, and yeah, so those are my favorite. And matchup nightmare, and you guys can put matchup nightmare, but I wouldn't recommend it because they do match up against cornerbacks more than they do against linebackers. But anyways, those are the best abilities to put on your wide receiver. If you have any questions, be sure to comment down in the comment section below. Anyways, on to tight ends. Alright, so I forgot to mention Superstar X Factors. My favorite Superstar X Factor to put on is Double Me. The best one is probably Moss, but it's hard to activate. I'm pretty sure you need 3 30-yard receptions to activate Moss, and you only need 2 to activate Double Me. So Double Me is easier to activate, so that's why I would choose Double Me. Moss is better overall, but Double Me is also, probably one of the best. Plus, Moss, you guys might not even be able to have a quarterback that can throw 55 yards, but yeah. Double Me is definitely really good too. And also some people like the pros. Some pros, if they're pass happy and they're pass heavy, they like to run 2 of their abilities. You guys can only have 3 players with abilities on your offense, so sometimes they use 2 of the 3 on wide receivers, and they just run a bunch of corner routes and post routes with them. And yeah, so you guys can definitely do that too. If you guys are pass heavy, the best playbook to run passes is definitely Saints. I like to run a lot, so I run the Raiders playbook. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't blame you if you like to run 2 abilities, or if you guys like to run abilities on 2 of your wide receivers. So yeah, that's definitely another way you guys can go with these abilities. Alright, and I do like to put abilities on my tight end just because they're really OP. Like I said, I'd probably put Double Me on my wide receivers, and I also do it on my tight ends. But Streak Specialist and Matchup Nightmare, they're really OP. Because all you have to do is if your tight end, lines up in the, tight end slot right next to your offensive lineman, and you streak it, and he's one-on-one against a linebacker, he will catch it 95% of the time. So yeah, I also have post flag elite. So yeah, post flag elite, Streak Specialist, and Matchup Nightmare, they're the best abilities to have on a tight end. Because if you have Streak Specialist and Matchup Nightmare, and you put your Darren Waller on a streak, and let's say they're running a cover 2, right? So your middle linebacker and your tight end are one-on-one. Your tight end will come down with the ball, 9 out of 9 times. And even if they sub in their safety at linebacker, they will still pretend that the safety is a linebacker. So Matchup Nightmare will still work on a safety subbing in as a linebacker. So Matchup Nightmare and Streak Specialist are my favorite. But once again, they're pretty much the same abilities as wide receivers. But yeah, you guys can go with tight end apprentice and stuff. And I like to run Streak Specialist, Matchup Nightmare, and Post Flag Elite. If you had an extra ability slot, I would probably put outside apprentice or tight end apprentice. I'd probably put tight end apprentice on him just so he can run corner routes and post flag routes. But yeah, Matchup Nightmare and Streak Specialist are probably the 2 best abilities to put on a tight end. And if you guys even want to put abilities on tight end, you guys don't have to. Some people just run an ability on a quarterback and 2 abilities on a wide receiver, and they just run a bunch of corner routes with them. So definitely your decision. Anyway, onto the offensive line. Alright, so the best abilities to put on offensive lineman is probably number 1, Identifier, but it only works for online. It highlights the defender your opponent is controlling, so if your opponent is using somebody online, it tells you who your opponent is using. But if you don't play online, then I wouldn't suggest you put Identifier on. So if you guys are just looking for pure block, I would say All Day is number 1, and probably Edge Protector and Pass Block Elite. Those are probably my favorite. So Edge Protector, Pass Block Elite, and Highlight Splitters doing pre-play on 3rd and 4th down. That's not very good. But Pass Block Elite, Edge Protector, and All Day, and Run Protector or Run Block Elite if you guys like to run the block, or if you guys like to run the ball a lot. Holy crap words. But I don't like to put abilities on my offense line just because you can only have 3 abilities on your offense, but you guys can, and some pros do, so it's definitely not a bad choice. I can understand why you would want to. But anyways, on to the defensive line. Alright, so for defensive linemen, now I don't have any abilities on my defensive linemen because I like to put abilities on my edge rushers. So my edge rushers are Lawrence Taylor and Khalil Mack. So none of my defensive ends rush from the edge. But the best abilities, if I were to put them on a defensive lineman, I would probably put Power Specialist, faster power move animations during the pass rush, Edge Threat definitely, Enforcer if you want, but yeah, I wouldn't put Enforcer on left end because the only thing you want from your defensive ends is for them to get to their quarterback, and you guys can do Run Stopper. I would actually recommend it. So Run Stopper, Edge Elite, and Power Specialist probably. You guys can put Strip Specialist if you want the quarterback to, be stripped more often. But yeah, those would be the top 2. Tackle Supreme, Decrease Fake Out. And yeah, you guys can go with all the other stuff, goal line, inside stuff, no outsiders. No outsiders are really good abilities for people who run a lot of stretches, and inside stuff for people who run dives. Or if you guys realize that you guys face against a lot of people that run stretchers or run dives, then you guys can put inside stuff and no outsiders on. But I like to put Edge Threat, Power Specialist, and Run Stopper. But anyways, those are the abilities I like to put on my defensive linemen, and for Superstar X Factors, I would put Unstoppable Force or Run Stuffer. So depends on what you guys are aiming for. You guys aiming to stop the pass, or you guys aiming to stop the run. So yeah, those are the best abilities I like to put on my defensive line. Alright, so for the best abilities to put on your middle linebacker, number 1 I would say is definitely Lurker, because it has a spectacular catch animations, which means you guys know that the animations in Madden 20 for intercepting the passes are terrible. But if you have Lurker on, they will actually jump up for the ball to intercept it. So Lurker is definitely the best ability to put on your middle linebacker, especially if you're using him. In my opinion, Acrobat is probably the 2nd best, diving swats, so that means he'll actually dive to intercept the ball. Tip Drill, probably the 3rd best, which means if the ball is ever tipped, you guys can intercept it. And Secure Tackler, probably the 4th best, higher success rate on conservative tackles. And how you do conservative tackles is you just press X over and over again. So those are the top 4 in my opinion. You guys can put Tackle Supreme, which is also really good, especially if you're using somebody, because if you guys are trying to chase down a running back and then they juke you out, then Tackle Supreme will make sure that doesn't happen. Strip Specialist is okay. I don't really like Strip Specialist that much, but those are the abilities I like to put on him. And wait, is Ryan Shazier gonna get Enforcer? He needs 90 hit power. How much hit power does he have right now? He has a total of how much hit power? Alright, so he will have 90 hit power on his next upgrade, which means you will be able to put Enforcer on him, which I do recommend you do because he will be overpowered with Enforcer on him. So yeah, like I said, probably the 4 abilities I'm gonna go with is Lurker, Tip Drill, Acrobat, and Enforcer. So yeah, those are probably the best abilities in my opinion to put on your middle linebackers. Alright, so I do like to put abilities on my right outside linebacker just because Lawrence Taylor does rush from the edge, so I'm going to need some sort of pass rush. So for Superstar X Factors, I like to put it Unstoppable Force 100 because he starts with it, and the only way to disable is if my opponent gains 10 yards, which is pretty quick, but the fact that he starts with an X Factor is huge. But anyways, like I said, I like to put abilities on my middle linebacker, my right outside linebacker, and my free safety. So yeah, those are the players that on defense that I put my abilities on. But anyways, I have Power Specialist, Reach Elite, and Pass Rush Elite. The reason I have Reach Elite on my tier number 2 is because he doesn't have anything else. I can't wait till Lawrence Taylor gets an upgrade because I'm going to change his abilities and hopefully he'll have some OP ability. So I use Lawrence Taylor to pass rush the quarterback, and that's why I put abilities on him. I put abilities on Ryan Shazier because I user him a lot, so he can actually jump up and intercept the ball. And I use John Taylor as a safety net in case, you know, they try to bomb me down the field. John Taylor should be able to get over there and intercept the ball. So that's why I like to put abilities on my free safety, right outside linebacker, and middle linebacker. So anyways, I'm going to tell you guys the best abilities to put on your free safety. Alright, so for your safeties, the best abilities are Enforcer, Lurker, and I would say Universal Coverage. Those are the best abilities to have on your safeties and corner or safeties, yeah. Because Lurker, once again, I love Lurker. I just love Lurker because spectacular attach animations and Enforcer and Universal Coverage. And if you have 4 ability slots, with the 4th one, I would probably choose Acrobat. The reason why I love Acrobat so much is because diving spots and interceptions, which means if the football is like 2 yards away, Sean Taylor will actually dive for the interception. And yeah, the reason why I like Lurker so much is because, you know, spectacular catch animations, and Enforcer because you have a better chance at getting fumbles, and you always want to put Enforcer on your safeties, and Universal Coverage. And definitely put Lurker on it because some people like to sub in their safeties to like their linebackers and then user their safeties. So yeah, safeties are definitely an amazing position to put your abilities on. So like I said, Lurker, Enforcer, Universal Coverage, and Acrobat would probably be the top 4 abilities in my opinion to put on your safeties. Alright, and for cornerbacks, I don't like to put abilities on my cornerbacks that personally, but if you guys were to, I would probably go with, once again, I'd probably go with Shutdown over Zone Hawk. So for abilities on your cornerback, since Byron Jones is a 99 overall gold, once again I'd put Lurker on him because I just love Lurker. You guys could put Pick Artist, but I don't like to do that because it doesn't work. I like to put abilities that I know will be used every time he's on defense, and I know Pick Artist will only be activated when he gets an interception, so I would rather just go with Lurker. But Lurker, Man Up is okay. If you guys like to, you know, do a lot of man coverage, Man Up is definitely really good. But once again, Lurker, Acrobat, you know, Lurker and Acrobat are probably one of my favorite ones, and Universal Coverage. Those are my top 3 favorite abilities to have. Zoned Out is okay, and especially if you guys like to do zone coverage, Zoned Out is definitely good. So yeah, Tip Drill. So my top 5 would probably be Tip Drill, Zoned Out, Acrobat, Universal Coverage, and Lurker, and also Man Up. But anyways, those are my favorite abilities to put on players. If you have any questions, please do comment down in the comment section below, and I will try to get to you as fast as I can. If you guys need help with abilities on a certain player, once again, comment down. I'll try to get to you as fast as I can. Please like, subscribe, comment, and put notifications on, because I do try to upload 3 Madden videos every single day. I'm the Psn Gamer. Remember, love God with our minds, and to love your neighbors as yourself. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!